So I'm going to start with Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I haven't used this in a while. Actually, I don't know if I've got enough left. Let's try. I've been struggling massively with my foundation recently. I don't know if it's with my foundation, I think it's actually with my skin, but consequently with my foundation. Oh my god, there was actually way enough in here. I've just spilled it everywhere. Ooh. I think just because of the kind of weather at the moment, my skin has been going crazy. I'm just going to pat this all in. Also, this is a bit dark for my skin, but my neck's a bit darker than my face. So once it's all on, it should all blend seamlessly. So I'm just going to apply this fairly lightly and kind of go in and conceal after. And I think where I'm kind of struggling with my skin, it can go really cakey really quickly. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of this. Just using a Real Technique sponge. And I'm just pushing that into my skin. Gonna leave my skin for now and move on to my eyes. You've probably noticed by now that with my makeup there's not really much of a variation. It's kind of very similar skin, but I use different products, very similar eyes, but I just kind of pick different colours, all kind of similar but different. But today's palettes are my MAC Warm palette and then my Zoeva Warm palette as well. I really like this, but I don't think there's enough shimmery browns. So I'm going to kind of use a mixture of the two. Annoyingly, neither has a mirror, so I'm going to be using my Gwen Stefani blush palette for the mirror. But I'm just going to start with a Lorac Pro primer. Just applying that all over my eyelid, all the way to under my brow bone. And then from the Zoeva palette, I'm taking WP 100 just to kind of set my eyeshadow primer. This is something that's relatively new to me, but I do think it works really well. Just using a shadow that's very close to your skin tone all over. Don't usually do like talky tutorials, talky makeup videos. I feel like it's not really a tutorial, I'm just showing you what I'm doing because I like to get ready with music, and this takes quite a long time because I'm videoing it and having to speak through it, and it does get a tiny bit boring, and I really want to play music, but for obvious reasons I can't. I'm going to try and use largely the Zoeva because I've used my MAC Warm loads and this is the first time using the Zoeva. The shadow that I applied all over my lid to set my primer is actually really, really nice, as is this colour. It's probably a tiny bit too shimmery. It is kind of glitter rather than sheeny. There are some really lovely colours in this palette, but I'm thinking I'm going to start with this lighter brown, move on to this darker brown, and somehow get these kind of purpley shades in there. Not the overly purple one though, I think that's a bit too much for me. Although I do really like the peach in the palette too, so I'm just going to start defining my crease first with that lighter brown. Moving on to that darker brown. And then I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of that shimmery purple onto the outer corner. And then I just found this on my desk, and it's the Estee Lauder Double Wear Infinite Waterproof Eyeliner in Coal Noir. I'm going to use this just to line my eyes. And it has got a little smudger on the end, so I'm going to use that as well. And then I'm convinced that liquid liner runs through my veins. I need liquid liner. Probably would look better without it, but I'm just going to go with it. Not the best liner ever, but it will do. And then I'm just going to curl my lashes. And apply somewhat of a thin coat of my favourite Better Than Sex mascara. I'm going to put lashes on. I want them to be like well coated but not clumpy. So like that. Just trying to get as close to the lash line as I can. Going to leave that to dry before I put on some false lashes. But what I am going to do is run some of the middle colour from the Zoeva palette underneath my lash line. There are then two different concealers I'm going to apply. I'm going to start with the Bourjois Radiance Reveal Concealer, which I'm going to use under my eyes and overall just kind of brighten and conceal at the same time. And then like in between my brows, just kind of this area to kind of brighten that. Down my nose. So quite a lot really. And then taking like the more pointed end of my sponge, I'm just going to press that in. And then over more serious blemishes, I am going to use my Bobbi Brown concealer in beige. It's just a creamy concealer, and then I'm going to go over that with their sheer finishing powder in pale yellow. So just anywhere I have some spots. And then over that with my favourite setting brush from Real Techniques. And like I said, the yellow powder from the Bobbi Brown duo. Then I'm going to give one of the new Eyelaw Express lashes a go. Admittedly, I'm a little bit nervous because they are pre-glued. Gonna try out the Express Lash by Eyelaw in lengthening number 115. We're just reading the instructions. You have to pull out these and then you pull out the band carefully. I'm just going to cut off a tiny bit off the end just because they're typically a little bit too long for my eye. These are supposed to be super easy to apply, so I'm just going to try and apply them with my fingers. And we are on. The glue is fairly thick. It's kind of like that annoying sticky stuff that you get on magazines and stuff, but when there's something attached to a magazine. It is latex free though, which is quite good if anyone is allergic, and they feel quite secure. Hands down the easiest lashes ever to apply, and I quite like these. And then I personally like to always apply a little bit of mascara. I do think you can see the glue a little tiny bit, almost nothing. It's just kind of like a reflection of the glue, so I'm just going to apply this on top. Now that my lashes are on, I can decide if I want to go any darker with my shadow. I actually am going to take it a little tiny bit, just because I don't think it's that smoky. I'm always way too scared to use black, but I've just used literally like a dab on my outer corner. And I don't think it looks too dark at all. Onto cheeks, and I have been actually really enjoying the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow, and this brush came in this month's Birchbox, and it's from Spectrum. It does look a bit dirty because I have been using it, but it's quite a pretty kind of mermaidy one, and I love the size. So I'm just going to start with the contour colour. I'm going to kind of try and concentrate it back here a little bit. And I am going to just bring it round my temples as well, just because I do have a slightly wider forehead. And along my jaw, just to define that a little bit more. Attempt to cover up my double chin. Then onto the Gwen Stefani palette. Since I haven't used it, I'm going to give it a go. And I'm going to start with Lo-Fi to bronze up my cheekbones a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to need a touch of Hush, but only a tiny bit on the apples of my cheek. Just like that. On a fan brush, I'm going to take Angel just to highlight. And then on a small brush, also taking Angel on the inner corner and on my brow bone. I'm going to do my brows using the the Tom Ford Brow Sculpt in 4 Espresso. I feel like this is really anti-blogger to say this, but I'm not necessarily crazy about doing my brows, just because I feel like my brows are dark enough anyway. I don't think adding brow pencil really makes them that much better, because I'm not in love with the shape of my brows, but they're just naturally this shape. And I did get my brows done really recently, and whenever I get my brows done, they get really irritated. It's very annoying, which is why there's so many spots around them. Shocker, I am going to use Rimmel East End Snob Lip Liner. I just really love this lip liner. I love a nude lip, and this is a perfect one. I don't ever overline my lips. I just really try to line what is actually there. As always, colouring that in, probably not the right term. Makes it sound childish. Over that I've just applied MAC Velvet Teddy, and then I'm going to apply just in the centre of my lip Claren's Natural Lip Perfector in number 3. And that is my finished makeup look. I'm really impressed with these lashes in particular, hoping they last all night. Just going to unclip my hair. I will be zhuzhing up my hair before I leave, but I've still got a while before I leave. But that's the end of my kind of evening makeup look. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's not like exactly the same to the previous one I did. Likelihood is that it is. Like this video if you did enjoy it though. Let me know what you'd like to see next and I will hopefully film that for you. My Snapchat is A Little Obsessed. If you don't already follow me, then please do. I'm off to Berlin on Tuesday, so I will be Snapchatting whilst I'm out there. I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye!